Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. And after the big win against Man United Friday night, we are back into the swing of things with the transfer news and, of course, the build-up to two massive games. Forest away next weekend and then on to Rocklaw for the Conference League final a week Wednesday. But packed show as always, guys. We've got the latest on surprise interest in Leicester City centre-back Ben Nelson, who's been on loan at Oxford United this season in the Championship. We've got the latest on that interest. We've got the latest on the future of Viktor Gyokeres, who is now set to decide his next club very soon, according to Fabrizio Romano. We've got the latest on Jarell Hato, with Chelsea reportedly seriously considering opening talks with Ajax. Georgia Petrovic won Strasbourg's Player of the Season last night, beating Andre Santos to the award. There is loads and loads to dive into as always. So yeah, big yourselves up, guys. Smash the like, subscribe, get involved in the chat, people. Let's say hello to a few of you lot, and then we'll get this show on the road, people. We could still finish 7th and be in the Conference League again. Yes, we could. Although, only if Betis beat us. You know, if we win the Conference League, like we're playing Europa League football, regardless of where we finish. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Yes, big up. Gyökeres wants to win things. Yeah, no, I'm sure he does want to win things. Yeah, bro, it has been a generational battle from Strasbourg. Lost their last 2 games of the season to a couple of strugglers, Le Havre and Angers. And now, to play Conference League football, Strasbourg need PSG to beat Reims in the French Cup final, which I think will happen. But yeah, a big bottle job from Strasbourg. A massive bottle job from them. Yeah, great to see Crystal Palace lifting that FA Cup. Ben Nelson, joke of a club, we need to do better. I mean, look, it's not, it's just interest, apparently. We're going to dive into all that stuff. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're well. Yes, big up. But let's start with that news then, people. Let's start with that news then, because it broke Friday as I was on my way to the game. And it was from the Telegraph and James Percy. And apparently James Percy, I've spoken to a few Leicester fans, he's very accurate when it comes to Leicester news, and he was saying that Chelsea are interested in signing Leicester City centre-back Ben Nelson. Nelson was given his first team debut at Leicester last season by Enzo Maresca, who continues to admire the centre-back, who has so far played for England up to under 20 level. Word on the streets is Gyökeres is heading to Arsenal. Could well do. But if he wants to retire from winning trophies, then that is exactly the place he will go. If he wants to increase his trophy cabinet, he will move elsewhere. Yeah, nice to see Chile get his hands on the FA Cup finally after a number of defeats with us. Yeah, that's nice to see at the end of the day. Even though I don't think he played in the final. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, anyway. So Ben Nelson, this was the kind of the first I've really heard of him, to be honest. And I messaged a couple of my Leicester mates, and apparently, they told me one of our best academy prospects smashed it at Oxford this year. Enzo gave him his debut and absolutely loved him. And then he said, I hope it's a nothing story, but Percy doesn't miss when it comes to Leicester. So, look, maybe there is interest there. But what I would say is, right, he's done well on loan at Oxford this season in the Championship. He's made 17 appearances, which is not loads. But when you've got Mamadou Sarr coming in from Strasbourg, who's 19, why would you bring Ben Nelson in? Is this going to be Ben Nelson signed by Chelsea, loaned to Strasbourg, to replace Mamadou Sarr? Is that what we're looking at here? Maybe something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure, but this is very, very random, and it's the only outlet that have reported any interest in him, which doesn't mean that it's wrong, but I'm surprised that no one else has reported this. In terms of, you know, an Osimhen, not an Osimhen, sorry, an Ornstein or a Romano or a Matt Law or whatever. I'm wondering why this has not been picked up by anyone else. But another young centre-back, if this were to happen, and by the way, guys, there's a lot of difference between interest and actually pushing forward, potentially with a move to sign said player. But it's clear that Ben Nelson is on the radar. It's clear he's on the radar. And that, for me, is a bit of a concern, because with the greatest of respect, this is not the caliber of signing we need to be going for. I've said it before and I will say it again. We need signings that are going to improve the first team. No more project players, no more squad players. Because what we need to do is sign players to improve the first team, and then players right now who are playing, who are starting regularly for us, will then go and become the squad players. That is the way that we need to be operating, and that is the way that we need to move forward. By the way, guys, up to 72 in the building already. We're only on 20 likes. People, smash that like button. Sunday afternoon settings, please run the likes up. It does really help me out. So smash the like button and subscribe as well. Yes, big up, big up, big up. No more kids, I agree. I wouldn't be against a Jared Branthwaite coming in. I wouldn't. I don't know what the price would be. You know, they were quoting 70 odd million last summer. The hype around Branthwaite seems to have died down a little bit. Still a very good player. And look, I wouldn't be against a Branthwaite coming in. I really wouldn't. The fact we're interested is sad. Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. Just get me Araujo and I'm happy. Stop overcomplicating everything. Well, yeah, I hear it. Are there any serious links to Gyökeres? Thought he was off to Arsenal. No serious links, but to be honest, there's not really any serious links with Gyökeres anywhere. I mean, people are saying that, you know, Arsenal seems to be the favourites, but if you're looking for the big dogs in terms of reporting, your Ornsteins and your Romanos and stuff, there hasn't really been anything from those guys suggesting that Gyökeres is on his way to Arsenal. Now, I'm not saying that Gyökeres won't join Arsenal, because he absolutely could join Arsenal, but that seems to be more Arsenal fans perhaps driving that in some sort of desperation, we could say. Some sort of desperation. Yes, big up, brother. Big up. Hope you're doing well. UCL or not, we won't sign experienced players that move the needle. Yeah, bro, I hear you on that. At the moment, it's all chat. Until I start seeing actions that back the chat, then it's just all a load of nonsense as far as I'm concerned. Until I hear stuff that backs the chat, then all it is waffle and noise and just a load of shit. It's going to be Gurhey and we send Trev to Palace. Potentially, we're going to get onto Mark Gurhey. It could be harder to get... Actually, we might as well get onto it now. It's going to be harder to get Mark Gurhey because now Palace have got Europa League football next season. It's going to be difficult. But the issue is, though, is that Gurhey's got 1 year left in his contract. Now, Palace are not going to want to lose Mark Gurhey on a free transfer. So there's two options here. Gurhey signs a new deal, plays Europa League football at Palace next season, but there's a release clause in the contract so he can leave the following summer. So he can leave in summer 2026. Or he fucks the whole lot off and he leaves this summer and he goes to join a team in the Champions League. Because now that they've got Europa League football, is there any benefit to Mark Gurhey moving to play Europa League? I don't know. And I tell you what, with the way the Europa League is, by the way, now, with no Champions League teams dropping out, the fact that United and Spurs have both made the final, Glass is a top manager. Depending on how many of their star boys they keep in terms of your Whartons, your Ezes and whatnot, you wouldn't bet against Crystal Palace having a bit of a deep run into the Europa League. You really wouldn't bet against that, guys. You wouldn't bet against it at all. But Gurhey now has to be the #1 target. I've said it so many times, guys. I've been banging that Mark Gurhey drum. You to me are everything, the greatest thing I've ever seen. Mark Gurhey. That's what we need, people. That's what we need. What else are we saying here? Emi Martin. Yeah, do you know what? The Emi Martinez one was a bit of a mad one, right? Because it looks very likely that he's going to leave. It looks like he's going to leave. Bro, Mark Gurhey's 24. Mark Gurhey's 24. I don't think are we really doing this now? We're doing 24 years old is too old. Have we lost our minds? Have our heads fell off? Like, what is this? Have our heads fallen off? Few words about United game. Job done. Shit performance, but we move. Champions League dream still alive. Maybe Chelsea will sign Gyökeres like we did with Quenda. I mean, look, I was talking about this the other day on another show. You know, the fact that we've done business with Quenda, the fact that we've done business with obviously with Asuga as well, you would have thought, surely we are not stupid and we are not that stupid that we wouldn't ask the question whilst we're negotiating with Gyökeres. But then I sort of had a bit of a moment and I was like, do you know what? Maybe we absolutely are that stupid that we probably wouldn't ask the question. We probably wouldn't ask the question. Bro, are we really doing this? I don't understand where people get this trail of thought from. I really don't. Branthwaite, Murillo, Gurhey, just a proven PL centre back. But I think we need also somebody as we definitely need a back. We definitely need a backup / alternative for Cucurella, because I think Renato Vega is obviously on the sell list this summer. I think that much is absolutely clear. But what else are people saying in the chat? Yeah, bro, I'm here for it. Let's just go and do it. Jonathan Tah would be good. Yeah, Jonathan Tah is very, very close to joining Bayern Munich, though. I don't see us having any luck with getting him there. Yeah, look, and also, people, there is the possibility that we could see deals appear out of nowhere, like we've seen in previous windows. That there's absolutely a chance. Absolutely a chance. Bro, I don't know why we're obsessed with height. Gurhey's not exactly small. You know, I don't understand this obsession with height. Yeah, sure, we need a bit more physicality in the team, but, you know, it's all about how you read the game. If you time your jumps well, if you read the game well, a lack of height doesn't matter. JT was slow. Thiago Silva, not blessed with pace. But those guys mentally were so switched on and they read the game so well that a lack of pace didn't really matter because of how switched on they were and how they read the game. Now, if you can read the game well, you time your jumps, you anticipate situations, a lack of height isn't really a massive, massive problem. You know, isn't a huge issue. Why? No one. I mean, European clubs doesn't links with centre backs like Diamonde, Inacio, Antonio Silva, etc. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, this, as I said, this could be a possibility. You never know. There's so much coming in. I'll read as much as I can. Really hope Chalobah doesn't go. Yeah, I hope he doesn't either. But you know what they're like. They'll try and force him out for sure. They'll try and force him out again. But moving, look. But then, so we had that. So we had that from the Telegraph, right? But then Sky Sports are reporting this morning with Kaveh Soloko, who's like the chief geezer on Sky Sports. I mean, guys, can we read that? Is that too small? Or we got that? Are we cooking with that? Let me see if I can. Let me see what that's looking like on screen. Can we read that, people? Or shall I zoom in a bit? Let me zoom in a bit, chat. Hold on. Right, that looks better, doesn't it, chat? Are we better there? That's better. Perfect. Right, so Chelsea not interested in Fox's defender as shortlist is revealed. So what we have here, guys, is latest from Sky Sports News is Kaveh Solokol. Leicester City defender Ben Nelson is not a Chelsea target. So, as Fabrizio famously said about the Gyökeres situation, we'll see who's lied. Leicester City defender Ben Nelson, not a Chelsea target. Chelsea will sign a centre-back this summer, but a 21-year-old who's been on loan at Oxford is not currently under consideration. Now, this is key. When you're reading transfer news, wording and phrasing is really key. It doesn't mean Chelsea haven't considered him, and it doesn't mean they're not aware of him. But when they say not currently under consideration, that means they're basically, I think they're backing them. They're like leaving themselves a bit of space in case the situation changes, so that they can't be caught out. Because if they say he's not under consideration and then suddenly he is, it doesn't look ideal. When you say not currently under consideration, it means you can leave it open to things changing. Anyway, so done. Chelsea will sign a centre back. Chelsea's centre back shortlist includes players such as Jarell Hato, Mark Gurhey, and Jared Branthwaite. These are the kind of players Chelsea will be hoping to sign in the summer, but in the meantime, their focus is on the final games of the season and not transfers. I think people are a bit disrespectful on Colwell. I think certainly people have obviously in the fan base have massively overrated him. But these last few weeks, Colwell has been very good and is performing to a good level. But what's funny is, right, people will get on Colwell straight away when he's not playing well. Then those same people, when he plays well, they're nowhere to be seen. Nothing to say. And that's what it's been like the last few weeks. People are so quick to get on him and criticize him. But when he does well, those same people disappeared, gone. The guy's 21 years of age, got a lot of developing to do still. He's not going anywhere. Chelsea have had opportunities to sell him, and they haven't taken them. So we will see. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, big up, big up. Yeah, something along those lines. I don't know what it is exactly. I disagree that he's been poor all season. I don't think he's been poor all season at all. He's definitely had poor spells, but these last few weeks, he has been good. He has been good. I think that Colwell this season has had a decent season. He's had a decent season. Yeah, when people say things like that, it's really unhelpful. It is really unhelpful. I don't agree with things like that at all. I really don't. Yeah, no, bro, there is, and it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Yeah, guys, as Jay says, hit the likes. We're over 150 in the building. Sunday afternoon settings, people. Big up to everyone that's locked in. With 46 likes, though. This should be on 100 likes, guys. Smash that like button. Run it up, run it up. And, guys, subscribe if you're new around here. Road to 17K and eventually road to 20K. Make sure you're smashing the like and subscribe. And if you're a new subscriber, guys, make sure you get involved in the chat. Introduce yourself to the community, people. Introduce yourself to the community. Yes, brother. See you there. See you in Rocklaw in a few weeks' time. If you're at Forest, let me know, brother. But yeah, I'm there. We're Forest, and then we're on to Poland. Big few days coming up next week. But yes. Yeah, Manuz was great, but we don't need a right back. That's the thing. We don't need a right back. We definitely don't. But I mean, look, it's interesting how, according to Sky, no, I don't see why. Why would we do that? I don't understand why we do that. What would be? I don't get it. Why? Why would we do that? What to create more work for ourselves? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think, well, he'll be assessed at the Club World Cup. The plan, according to reports, is that Asugu will link up with the squad at the Club World Cup. Could well make his debut. Let's wait and see how he does. And I suppose a decision will be taken at that point. A decision will be taken at that point. We must beat Nottingham Forest, absolutely. No, Remain. If you mean Remain SA at Crystal Palace, he literally only just joined there in January. No chances. No chances that happening. Nah, bro, they won't sell Reece James. They absolutely won't. I mean, it's been confirmed that that's not going to happen. That's not even a consideration at the club. You know, bro, at that same point, you could say that Reece James doesn't fit the system. Like, so I think it's a bit of a nonsense point. I really do. I mean, look, Eze would be. I mean, I'd love Eze to come, but again, I wonder if we're looking for more of an out-and-out winger, or if we're looking for more of a left-wing 10 hybrid. That's the thing. Maybe we're looking for more of a left-wing number 10 hybrid. Would bringing Ugo back and loaning Asugu for another season to develop a good move? Yeah, and look, that's potential. There's potential for that to happen. I wouldn't fully rule it out. I actually like Leslie Ugochukwu, but for some reason, yeah, that is a possibility, and I definitely wouldn't rule it out. Rafael Leao out left winger, just 25. Bro, Leao, I'm not on board with the Leao hype. Way too inconsistent for me. And not worth the money, personally. Bro, it has to be Gyökeres or Osimhen. I mean, it's not going to be Osimhen, so Gyökeres for me. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I don't know for certain if that's the case or not, but it's a distinct possibility. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, let's explore some of these other links then, because the Jarell Hato stuff's interesting, but I don't know why Jarell Hato's being spoken about as a centre back. I don't know why Jarell Hato's being spoken about as a centre back target, because Jarell Hato is predominantly a left back. When you look at where he's played for Ajax, he's played at left back most of the time, but he can also play at centre back. So it would work well for Chelsea. Can play as a left back, and also if we invert from the right, he'll be comfortable in that left centre back role. So this does make sense. Hato is a fullback. So really, when I look at Jarell Hato's profile, it makes sense. No, Cucurella's not going to leave. It makes sense that, you know, Hato would be that Renato Vega replacement in the squad. You know, because if Vega leaves, which is looking likely, then yeah, we're looking at Jarell Hato as a replacement profile-wise and position-wise for Renato Vega. Now, what is this article saying? I mean, there's a lot of interest in Hato, by the way. There's a lot of team talk saying Chelsea are now seriously considering opening talks with Ajax for Jarell Hato after losing out on one of their favoured defensive targets. We know that Madrid have announced Hoyson. Yep. Chelsea, Liverpool, AC Milan, and Arsenal are all interested in Hato. Internal discussions are ongoing at Chelsea, with the club aiming to contact Ajax soon to understand the terms and conditions of a possible deal. The Dutch club have already set the asking price in the region of 45 to 50 million euros. So between 37 and 42 million pounds as the price. So that's not bad. As we reported in late April, Chelsea plan to sign 2 centre-backs this summer. Let's wait and see if that's true. Liverpool Milan and Arsenal remain interested, but Chelsea are hoping to move fast and stay ahead of the competition. Liverpool have got a desire to land Hato. He's a player on the list of Chelsea and Liverpool. So yeah, that's where we are with Jorel Hato. I like him. It makes sense. But this is not a centre-back signing. This is not a centre-back signing. So I'm wondering, right, if they're saying that Chelsea are going to sign, if he replaces Robertson at Liverpool, it'll either be Gyökeres or Hato. Liverpool will sign one of Milos Gyökeres or Jorel Hato. That's what we're looking at here. Liverpool will sign Hato or Gyökeres for that left back role. Now, if we're signing two centre backs, right, I wonder whether it's going to be one out and out centre back and then a player like this who isn't predominantly a centre back but has the ability to play at centre back if needed. Now, if you look at Jorel Hato's stats this season for Ajax, and by the way, talking of bottle jobs, the Ajax bottle job has been one of the biggest bottle jobs ever. They were 9 points clear with 5 games remaining. They're now a point behind with 1 game left. But if we look at Jorel Hato this season, guys, he's made 49 appearances in all competitions, 3 goals, 6 assists. He's only played once at centre-back for Ajax. Once. 46 games at left-back. So the guy's played just shy of 50 games for Ajax. No, he hasn't. This season he has, sorry. Just shy of 50 games this season for Ajax. 49 games for Ajax this season. 46 of those at left-back. Now, you talk about experience. He might only be 19 years old. He's already made 110 appearances for Ajax. So this is where people need to understand that age doesn't always mean no experience. Hato at 19 has made 110 appearances for Ajax already. There's a lot of first-team experience there. There's Champions League experience. There's Europa League. There's European experience. Yes, we have Vega, but I think Vega's going to be sold. And also, Vega wants to play at centre-back. The Kroos is a long-term Chelsea target. I don't think he is. I don't think I've ever heard the Kroos mentioned with Chelsea ever. So no, I don't think that's the case. Chelsea have been linked. A lot of people have been, linked with Murillo. He signed a new contract. I wonder, with Forest bottling the Champions League, I wonder if a team might look to sign him. If he stays this summer, I would say that in the summer of 2026, he's definitely gone. He's definitely gone. Marquinhos would be a good option. He's not leaving PSG. He's not leaving PSG. Not massively experienced, but a lot. He does, for his age, ridiculously experienced. Theo Hernandez offered himself to Real Madrid but got rejected. Look, I think it's clear that Theo Hernandez will probably leave AC Milan this summer. I think that much is very clear. Christian Romero is not going to come to Chelsea. I think he will most likely end up at Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, sorry. But this is an interesting one, though, guys, in terms of defensive targets, because it's clear for me, Hato has played once at centre-back this season. So he is definitely a left-back. And if Vega leaves, then, yeah, that's the situation we're in. Yeah, Jonathan Tah's going Bayern Munich. That's virtually done. The negotiations there are very, very advanced. So, yeah, he will be going to Bayern Munich most likely. So, for me, unless Chelsea have got a few different names up their sleeve that we're not aware of right now, then I'm not. To be honest, it has to be Mark Guehi. It has to be Mark Gurhey. That's what I'm saying here, people. It's going to be Mark Gurhey. For me, it's a no-brainer. It has to be. It absolutely has to be. And also no-brainers, guys. We should be on 100 likes by now. Smash that like button, people. 67 likes. Get this up to 100. We're 170 in the building, guys. Please keep subscribing as well. Run it up. Run it up. Bro, Bastoni's not leaving Inter. I don't understand why Chelsea fans always do this in the chat, right? Everyone says Bastoni, Bastoni, Bastoni. It's not coming. Not happening. No. It's not happening. It simply isn't happening. People need to realise that these Italian players are pretty loyal to their clubs. And generally speaking, there'd be more chance of Bastoni joining Juventus than there would be at Chelsea. I don't know why people are so I don't know why people are so disrespectful about Gurhey. England's best centre half. He's a leader. He's got experience. He brings quality to the back line. He's better than what we've got. He's just captained Crystal Palace to the first major trophy in their history. And we've got Chelsea fans out here saying he's not good enough. It just baffles me. It just absolutely baffles me. You cannot look at Chelsea's pool of centre-backs and say that Mark Gurhey is not better than what we've already got. Well, please, why is Gurhey not UC? Why is he not Champions League level? Why? So someone please tell me why he's not Champions League level. It was interesting because other than Fofana, he's probably better than all our centre backs. So, and people are turning down options to improve our squad. Mark Gurhey improves the squad. Bro, for me, Gurhey's better than Branthwaite. Branthwaite doesn't even... People are saying that Branthwaite's better than Gurhey, right? Branthwaite doesn't even make the England... He doesn't even get in the England squad, Branthwaite. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Gurhey starts for us. He starts for us. And this idea that people are... By the way, I like Jared Branthwaite. But let's not be stupid here. The idea that people think Branthwaite is better, yet Branthwaite can't even get in the England squad, and Gurhey gets in there. England centre-back. So we've got, John Stones, who's probably finished now. You've got John Stones. You've got Mark Gurhey. Obviously, Branthwaite, but he doesn't make the squad. Maguire, but he doesn't really make the squad anymore. I suppose you're looking at someone like Ezri Konsa in there. There's not a lot of good English centre-backs, but ultimately, at the end of the day, but that further proves the point, right? Where the pool of England centre-backs is not amazing right now, yet Branthwaite doesn't make the squad. And I've got people here trying to tell me that Branthwaite's better than Gurhey. I mean, seriously. I mean, seriously, guys, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Please tell me what next level centre-backs are available and what next level centre-backs we're signing. Please tell me. Right, if people think he's not good enough, that's fine. That's their opinion. I disagree. But it's no deeper than that. So please tell me, can someone please tell me, right, if Mark Gurhey's not good enough, what next level centre-backs, as referenced here, what next level centre-backs can Chelsea realistically, key word here, realistically sign? Please, please, please list me the names. And I do not want to see Bastoni's name or Marquinhos' name appear in the chat because they are not going anywhere. Realistic signings who are next level centre-backs who will come to Chelsea. Chat, please, I can't wait to hear these names. I cannot wait to see these names. Please tell me, chat. Please tell me. I cannot wait to see these names. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, big up. Bro, Tuchel's already had friendlies. Tuchel's already had 2 games. Didn't make the squad. Bro, Murillo's not realistic. Schlotterbeck. Is this what we're doing? So, one, Bremer. I think Chelsea have potentially looked at Bremer before. Rudiger is not realistic. I would rather have Gurney than Hincapi. Well, probably because he's been priced out of a move. That's why he's been priced out of a move. But Palace can't Palace can't. He was priced out last summer because they wanted 70 million for him. But right now we're in a situation where he's going to have 1 year left on his contract in the summer. One year left on his contract in the summer. Right. I mean, are we listening to this? Realistic options: Bastoni and Kabasi at Barcelona. I mean, I swear some people just live on a different planet. They just live on a different planet. In what world are we going to get Bastoni or Pau Kabasi at Barcelona? I mean, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Bro, the not tall enough thing is a complete cop out bullshit. Not tall enough. People acting like we're signing midgets. Like if he was like 5'5" or something, fair enough. But people are talking about Gurhi as if he's some sort of midget. Yeah, it's mental. Yeah, absolutely. We need a centre back. Absolutely. Yeah, obviously, I'd have Rudiger back. I'm not saying I wouldn't have him back, but we're talking about realistic here. We're talking about realistic here. Mate, Ronaldo. People do this, right? Ronaldo Araujo is never coming to Chelsea. Why do people think it's like names like Araujo and Kabasi at Barcelona are realistic Chelsea signings this summer? I'm just so confused at the way some people think. There's a lot of delusion in the chat today. A lot of delusion, people. Yeah, look, I like Jan Bissek. Bissek is a good player, but again, you're going to be talking about a phenomenal amount of. Yes, bro. I'm not disputing whether certain players are Chelsea level or not. My whole thing is they're not realistic at all. The names you've listed there are like me saying, "Oh, I'm just going to go and get a date with Margot Robbie, and I'm going to go and get a date with I don't know someone else." Yeah, whatever. I can't think of any names off the top of my head right now. But people are obsessed with aerial stats, like as if. No, Ruben Diaz. No, Ruben Diaz is not out of contract. I don't think. Murillo is not realistic this summer. I don't think. I don't think Murillo is realistic this summer. Um, not. I don't think he's realistic this summer. Next summer, yeah, could definitely be more realistic. I'm not saying that when have I ever said that Gurhey is a monster in the air? I've never said that. All I'm saying is that people when you're analysing a player, right? Yeah, exactly. Don't remind them how tall Thiago Silva was. There's an absolute obsession with height, an obsession with height. You know, I don't get it. You know, and if Chelsea do sign Mark Gurhey, then it would be a very good signing. It would be a very good signing. I just think, I understand, yeah, we do lack some sort of aerial ability and aerial presence. I absolutely agree with that. But Tosin has height, and he's not that good. He does a job. Gurhey's miles better than Tosin is. Um, Plus, yeah, exactly. Look, the defense is probably not the best part of the team by any stretch of the imagination. We've got the third best defense in the league this season. The third best defense in the league this season. When people are acting like 6 foot is a midget, it's honestly, I'm just baffled at this nonsense. Absolutely baffled. We've got the third best defensive record in the league. The third best defensive record in the league, and I've got people banging on about fucking height. Well, let's just sign someone shit then. Let's just go and sign a basketball player because he's fucking tall. Uh, Makes no sense. Um, yeah, it's about how you read the game, as I referenced earlier. You know, JT never had pace, could read the game so well it wasn't a problem. You know, it wasn't a problem. He could read the game so well. Same with Silva. You know, wasn't the quickest, but could read the game well. Um, uh, it's not. I don't think that's terrible. I don't think that's awful. Again, obviously, we need Fofana to stay fit, um, which is obviously a big if, and I don't think you can build with him. Um, yeah, I wonder if Cucurella is not good in the air either. It's because of his height. Because of his height. Yeah, Sven Botman's decent, but again, he's not someone that's going to be coming to Chelsea, given he's literally not been at Newcastle that long. But talking of someone who should come to Chelsea, and we're talking about that left wing sort of number 10 hybrid slot, Rayan Cherki is surely a no-brainer. Surely a no-brainer. He announced last night he's leaving Lyon this summer. He announced it in the mix zone. No, of course there wouldn't. Of course there wouldn't, because it's different rules, isn't it? It's different rules. And guarantee, right, these same people hating on Gay in the chat, right? If he went to a Man City, if he goes to a Liverpool if he goes to Liverpool, right? Are those same people saying, "Oh, he's a shit signing, no good"? Just because you're tall, it doesn't mean you're good in the air, and just because you're slightly shorter, it doesn't mean you're poor in the air either. What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing here? Well, look, you could see Cherki coming in as someone
that would replace Nkunku in the squad, for example. You know, we unfortunately we need to plan for life without Mudryk. We don't know. We're definitely going to sign Jadon Sancho this summer, and to be honest, for 25 million euros, it's a no-brainer. I think. But I think that this would be a good signing. No, you're right. Not tall enough. Not tall enough. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Also, size 9 boot as well, apparently. So can't sign him. Can't sign him. Not tall enough. Only and he's size 9 apparently as well, guys. I've heard. So we can't sign him for those reasons. And again, yeah, look, Rodrigo, another one. I agree. Those are that's the caliber of player we need to be targeting. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I would be bang on board with it, guys. We're 8 likes away from 100 likes. Let's run it up. Let's run it up, people. Keep smashing the likes. Keep subscribing to the channel if you are new round here as well. Would be greatly appreciated. It's bordering. If enough money was bid, Real Madrid would sell for sure. Real Madrid would definitely sell if enough money was on the table. The one player who leaves this summer will be, if someone leaves Real Madrid this summer in terms of an attacking sense, it will absolutely be him. It doesn't equal that at all. I don't understand how you've come to that conclusion. So you can't have decent competition for places. I don't understand how we come to those conclusions that if Cherki arrives, that means that Madueke must leave. Where does that idea come from? Where does that idea come from, guys? Because I'm confused. I mean, Castello Luqueba, again, is another one we've been linked with in the past. I think the release clause for him is quite big. No, Rodrigo is realistic because he is probably going to leave Real Madrid this summer. That's why it's realistic. Because that player is probably going to be available. But you look at market opportunities, you look at the quality of someone like Cherki, and when you look at 25 million euros, which is the reported price, and someone said to me, "Oh, why is he 25 euros? It's 25 million euros," and that's because I think he's out of contract at Lyon either this summer or he's got 1 year left. Let's have a quick look at his contract. Yeah, he's out of contract in next summer, so he's got a year left on his deal. So Lyon can't command a big fee for him. So he's a versatile player across the front line. Can play on the right, can play on the left, can play in attacking midfield. What's he done this season for Lyon? Let's have a quick look. So he's predominantly played on the right side. He's got a lot of assists this season, by the way. He's got 20 assists this season. 20 assists and 12 goals in 44 games is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. No, I don't think he is. That was close at one point. He's got good output. He's done well. Chelsea have been interested. I wonder. Cherki is going to be a very good signing for someone for that price, for the quality of player that he is. And he's at a very good age still. He's still only 21. He'll be 22 in August. But he's only... shit. He's only 1 meter 77, guys. Fuck. Now we're going to have to forget that, guys. We're going to have to forget it. Cherki's only 1 meter 77. Can't sign him. Can't sign him, guys. Let's move on from that. The dream's over. He's done and dusted. No Cherki because he's 1 meter 77, guys. Can't have him. Shit. It's a real disappointment, that. Really disappointing, guys. Why is he only 1 meter 77? Shit. Shit, he's only 1 meter 77. Oh, no. What are we going to do? Oh, no. No, he's not tall enough, guys. He's not tall enough and he can't run. Oh, he can't run. Yeah, shit. Can't run. Where does it? Where does Cherki? Where have we got that information from? Where have we got that information from that he's going to demand, that he's demanding 200 grand? He'll be on nowhere near that amount of money at Lyon. Oh shit! Yeah, wrong eye color. Fuck. I think Cherki would be a good signing, and it's a very good opportunity in the market. What I would say is, though, I get it. Yeah, Esteval's coming. Sure. Okay, so let's go through this situation, right? No, I think the Madrid table is the Madrid treble is missing the sarcasm here. It's because people were going on about, oh, we can't sign Gyökeres because he's too short. So it was obviously if you missed that bit, then you wouldn't understand the context. I'm not actually saying that. So okay, Esteval comes, right? Fine. You've got Esteval. So let's just go through it, right? Esteval, Madueke, Neto, Sancho, Tyreek George. Those are the 5 wide players that you've got right now. If you include Mudryk, that's 6. So those are the 6 wingers that are on the books. Mudryk, we don't know what's going on there. Just we have to put him out the picture. Okay. Esteval is going to be here. Yes, Esteval will be here. Neto will be here. And I think Madueke will be here. Tyreek George, I think, will either be sold or will go on loan. All right. So you're basically looking at, do you decide to keep Jadon Sancho? Sterling's not in the plans. If you decide, basically, I think the situation we're going to look at here is, are we going to be going, should we keep Jadon Sancho or should we send him back and sign Cherki instead? That's basically the conversation we're going to have, because then as your wingers, you have Maresca apparently wants 5 wingers in the squad, right? Next season. So you could even bring Cherki regardless. You could have Sancho, Neto, Esteval, Madueke, and Cherki. You could have that as a potential. Now, obviously, maybe you get rid of Sancho and you have Cherki and you have Rodrigo if you can do it. Yeah, so there's like an emergency transfer window open for 10 days before the Club World Cup starts. And then after that, there is a then it's closed, and then it obviously opens on the official date, basically, if that makes sense. But yeah, look, Cherki's a good market opportunity. And he'll make a very good signing for someone. It could be a decent signing for Chelsea. I don't know whether Chelsea will go for it or not, but it certainly could be a decent signing. Guys, keep subscribing to the channel and keep smashing those likes. We're on 106. Let's try and get this up to 150 likes if we can. Let's get this to 150 likes if we can, people. Bro, we need a striker for the Club World Cup. We need it. We need it. We need it. We need it. Big time. But yeah, Cherki will be a good signing for someone. And why shouldn't it be Chelsea? You know, let's see what happens in the summer with that one. But it's definitely one to look out for. But let's move on to the main event, though, guys. Let's move on to the main event, because the main event is Mr. Viktor Gyokeres. So scored again last night. Look how stacked this geezer is, by the way. He's just an absolute specimen. 39 goals in 34 games in the Portuguese league this season for Gyökeres, winning the title once again with Sporting Lisbon. Also, congrats to Giovanni Quenda for winning his first title. And he's now preparing his exit with £60 million move expected to happen this summer. £60 million. Bro, it's free to dream. It's free to dream. The dream is free, guys. The dream is free. Now, I'm not going to get gassed or hyped about this, but we must try. We must try. 60 million. Look, transfer fees never been an issue with Chelsea, guys. I think we know that. Transfer fee has not been an issue. As always, it's going to be wages probably, and it's going to be, what else is it going to be? It's going to be wages, and it's going to be whether we can offer Champions League football or not. That's why the win against Nottingham, well, if we win against Nottingham Forest, that's why it's so important. So important. Because otherwise, we can just forget the lot. We can forget everything. Now, what he said about his future last night was kind of the standard sort of answer that you would expect. My next club, we can't predict the future. We never know what happens. I'm focused now on celebrating this title and trying to win the Taça de Portugal, which is obviously the Portuguese Cup. Bro, there's no Amorim Pool. You, man, haven't even won 2 games in a row in the league. I mean, the fact that United fans think they're going to get Gyökeres is mental. Absolutely mental. They think that's going to happen. By the way, guys, over 200 in the building. Big up to everyone who is locked in. Smash those likes, people. And of course, subscribe. Let's try and hit 16.2 if we can. We need 25 more subscribers. Let's run it up, guys. Let's get that to that 16.2. Subscribe, 200 in the building. Run these likes up. We're on 115 likes. Let's get this to 150 likes. Yeah, sure. It doesn't mean he's going to Man United, does it? I mean, the delusion levels at United are incredible right now. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, mental. I mean, I really don't know where he's going to end up. Part of me just feels like Arsenal are favourites, but then Liverpool need a striker. And I'm sort of thinking he could easily go to Liverpool. Could easily go to Liverpool if they were serious about putting a bid in. That could easily happen. That could easily happen. I think there's probably a little bit of delusion, a little bit of just desperation, I think, to a certain point where you're just like, fuck. If we just try and talk this into existence. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't think people. I'm not sure United fans. Well, I'm sure most United fans do realise United are fucking dog shit. United are absolutely horrendous. I don't know why he'd go there. I really don't. No, I think he would. Again, you could see him at a PSG. Barcelona is one that I look at and think, with Robert Lewandowski at the age that he's at, you could easily see a Gyökeres going to Barcelona to replace Lewandowski. Now, Barcelona, don't ask me how they'd find the money. Barcelona find money. They got this ability to find money even when they've got no money. Yeah, bro, you'll be lucky. Bro, you'll be lucky to qualify for Europe next season through the league. You'll be lucky to qualify for Europe next season through the league. That's where you are. That's where you are. You'll be lucky to qualify for Europe through the league. There could be, but I don't think United have got that money. You know, United haven't got that money. Their main targets are Delap and Cunha. Those are the players that they're looking at. Liam Delap and Mateus Cunha. Those are their prime targets. Prime targets. But yeah, the Gyökeres thing is going to be very, very interesting to very, very interesting to see when he makes his decision and what decision he does make. Because ultimately, for Chelsea, we need a striker in. We need a striker in for the Cup, for the Club World Cup. We need a striker for the Club World Cup. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's going to happen. Bro, Isak news not happening. Isak news not. There is none. I mean, look, again, Serhou Guirassy is another striker. This is why I get so pissed off, because we could have signed Serhou Guirassy in January 2024 or the summer of 24, last summer, or the summer or whatever it was. He had a release clause of fucking £15 million. And I've got people telling me that, Guirassy's not good enough. Like, there's been so many opportunities that we've missed. So many. There's been so many opportunities that we've missed. Yeah, very frustrating. There's been a lot of missed opportunities in terms of strikers, which we just cannot afford to lose. Bro, I'd take Mateta. I've talked about Mateta in January. The striker is the main priority. Striker, without doubt, is the main priority. Yeah, bro, let's speak it into existence. We're speaking it into existence, guys. We're going to have to do some manifestation here. The power of manifestation, visualization. Bro, I mean, Guirassy scores loads of goals. I don't know. Bro, if we had Guirassy this season, we're not even talking about us not being in a Champions League yet. Like I don't know why people are so disrespectful of certain players because of the clubs that they play for. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, again, this is one where I look at it, right? And there has been because I'd rather have Gyökeres. Gyökeres, a striker is more important than a centre-back signing. A striker is more important than a centre-back signing. Guirassy has done exceptionally well. He's done exceptionally well at Dortmund. I think he's become the first player to score 20 goals for Borussia Dortmund in back-to-back seasons. I mean, that can't be true. I swear I saw that somewhere. Let me check what Guirassy's been doing. I've definitely spelt that wrong. No, I haven't. I mean, Guirassy's 29 years old. Again, let's go through his stats, right? So Guirassy this season in the Bundesliga. He's got 3 years left on his deal. Guirassy in the Bundesliga this season, 21 goals in 30 games. Guirassy, 13 goals in 14 Champions League matches. Guirassy in the Champions League this season, 18 GNA in 14 games. 13 goals, 5 assists in the Champions League. 21 goals and 4 assists in 30 Bundesliga games. The guy's got 43 GNA this season in 45 games. 43 GNA in 45 games. And I've got man out here telling me that he's not that good. And this is why we know this guy. I mean, I don't know who you are. I don't know how old you are. But, I mean, it's absolutely baffling. You're saying that I haven't watched him, and but then you're showing me you haven't watched him at all because you're saying he's like Raheem Sterling. I mean, Jesus Christ. So that's 21 goals in the Bundesliga this year. Let's see what he did last season. Because we need a bit of a bigger sample size than one season. 28 goals in the Bundesliga last season. So 28 goals in the Bundesliga last season, 21 goals in the Bundesliga this season. Back-to-back seasons, over 20 goals in the Bundesliga. 44 goals in 58 games for Stuttgart. 34 goals in 45 games for Dortmund. Like, this guy scores goals. And it might be a bit of a renaissance late in his career in terms of certainly how he's taken himself, you know, onto the big stage, as it were. But he's a player that would be very, very good. Yeah, mental. I mean, who said that? Someone said that. Yeah, that's mental. Someone's genuinely put that in the chat. This must be sort of looking for interactions or something. There's no way someone actually means that. There's just no way. I refuse to believe that. No, I refuse. It's not possible. There's no way someone genuinely thinks that. I mean, look, the price for Gyökeres and Osimhen is going to be it's going to be about £5 million between it. You know, Gyökeres for about 60. Osimhen's release clause, I think, is 65. So yeah, the price is basically the same. The price is basically the same. Yes, all good, bro. Yeah, well, they've bottled it last 2 games. To play European football, they need PSG to win the French Cup and beat Reims, which I think probably will happen. But at best, Strasbourg will be in the Conference League next season. I don't think that's bad for them, by the way, either. I don't think that's bad for them. But Strasbourg will be in the in the Conference League next season, probably. Probably be there. Probably in the Conference League, I'd say. But we'll see. We'll see. They're going to need a favour from PSG.
Garassi's absolute quality, and we should have signed him. Yeah, we missed out on him. Tell me about it. Gyökeres clears everyone right now. We're being honest. I think so. Yeah, I was saying this in January, mate. You know, Mateta would be a great signing. He really would. You know, we've missed not having, you know, someone like that. You know, a Demba Ba, a Loic Remy, Olivier Giroud type signing, and Mateta would fit that perfectly. He would. But that's not really what we're doing anymore, which is a shame, a big shame. Yeah, no, it would be. It would be. No, but I think there is a release. I'm pretty sure I read there was a release clause for Gyökeres. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there might be a release clause for Gyökeres, but I do think it's quite high. But no, Mateta would be a great signing. Look, with Gyökeres, all we can do is pray and hope that the club will show some ambition and actually try and sign him and give the guy a decision to make. But yeah, I hear it. I hear it. It could be tricky, guys. It could be tricky. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. Let's see if there's any other news. In terms of, I mean, please. No, here we go. Talking to Gyökeres, literally just had a thing from Fabrizio. Just literally, what, 1:13? Yeah, 2 minutes ago. Despite public statements, Viktor Gyokeres will surely leave Sporting this summer with a fee agreed already. Package worth around 65 million euros can be enough to get green light from Sporting, as agreed with Gyökeres months ago. Discussions with top European clubs continue. Thoughts on João Pedro? I like him. Good player. I don't think he's what we need. And the price Brighton would ask for would be ridiculous. Let's be honest here. I just don't look at João Pedro as that clinical forward that we need. I don't see it. I don't see it personally. It would be weird, but I wouldn't put it past us at all because it's the sort of thing that we would do. By the way, guys, keep smashing that like button. Let's get this to 150 likes. We need 18 more likes. Let's get this to 150 likes, people. And keep subscribing if you are new round here. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Our striker list should be Osimhen, Gyökeres, Isak, Guirassy. I mean, look, great strikers on there, but again, some names which Isak's not going anywhere this summer. I mean, to be honest, Bowley's not been involved for years. Not the year. Oh yeah. I mean, there was that talk of that, but then I think that's kind of fallen away because with that Agate deal, I think we're going to get reported for like offering to buy part of Sporting Lisbon or something as part of the deal. It was a strange one. I'm not really sure what happened there. I mean, the links to that have gone very, very quiet. Very quiet. I don't see that being a possibility, to be honest. I don't see that being a possibility. But you never know. You do never know. It will be up to the player, but we need to make an offer and we need to give the player a choice to make. That's what it comes down to here. We need to give the player a choice to make, ultimately. That's what we have to do. Would you pay 100 mil for Gyökeres if it turned into a bidding war? I'd pay 100 mil for Gyökeres. Yeah, probably would, but it's not going to come to that because we won't need to be doing that. So, yeah, all Europe's top clubs are going to be at the table, the ones that need a striker. The only way we're going to get to the table is by having Champions League football. So if we don't beat Forest, then unfortunately, we are not going to be at the table for Gyökeres. Or we're going to have to do some sort of a madness to pull it off. Some sort of a madness to pull it off. You know, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see. Let's wait and see. I personally don't think we would, but it can't be ruled out. I mean, I think it's possible that Watkins will leave Villa this summer. I'd be surprised. I'll be honest. I'd be surprised if I'd be surprised if Chelsea was a destination. I'd be very surprised. I would be very surprised. But you never know. You do never know, guys. But yeah, I don't think he'll be there. We'll see. Yeah, the Watkins one, I'm not on it. Personally, not for me. But Watkins could be a good signing for someone. Absolutely, could be a good signing for someone. So we will see, people. Yeah, some Potter magic today will be fine, but ultimately it doesn't really change much. Doesn't really change much. I think he's going. Fuck's sake. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? In an alternative universe, maybe that does happen. Maybe that does happen. I think he's going to Napoli. Well, he's definitely got an offer on the table from Napoli. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. No, but again, it's kind of irrelevant though, because ultimately we still need to win that last game anyway, regardless of whether Forest can still get Champions League or not. We still need to win the game. So there we are. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Been a great show, great numbers. Big up to everyone who's tuned in this afternoon, guys. People, big love as always. Who buys in Kunku? Anyone, hopefully. Yeah, thank you for all the support this afternoon, guys. It's greatly appreciated. As I always say, the shows are nothing without you guys in the chat. So big up to every single one of you. It's all love, even if the opinions are different. We all want Chelsea to do well. Appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Please smash that like button on the way out. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. If anything major happens, I'll be back later on. If not, we're back again tomorrow to go through all the latest news. I'll see you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.